A question I often get asked is, will this grief I'm feeling last the rest of my life? My son died, my spouse died. And the answer is that yes, grief will last the rest of your life. In fact, everybody is grieving, but we don't have to be lost in grief. Can we consciously grieve? Rumi has this wonderful quote, grief is the garden of compassion. Grief is the garden of compassion. Grief is the emotions that arise when we're lost in separateness. Compassion is the feeling in the heart that arises when we feel connected. So can we consciously grieve? Can we be open to what it feels like to grieve, rather, at least sometimes? This is something that neither you nor I can do 24/7, but occasionally do conscious grief work. Can I feel that sense of separation from myself, from you, from God? Can I feel that contractedness, that separateness, that sense of stuckness or being hooked? And can I surrender through that into this connection that is always available moment to moment to moment? Compassion is really the combination of sadness and joy. There's a certain sadness to being in a human body. We look around at the other human bodies, people are suffering. There is a war going on. There's a pandemic going on. There's global climate change going on. There's political divisiveness going on. There's so much to grieve, even if you don't have somebody personally in your life that you've lost lately. People aren't kind to each other very often, but there is a joy that transcends happiness and sadness. So even though you and I will be grieving for the rest of our lives, there is a joy that is boundless. Can we be resting in both of those at the same time? Deeply honoring our humanity, that we're in a body that suffers, and there's other bodies out there that suffer, at least feeling pain, maybe going beyond suffering eventually, hopefully. But even though we're human, we don't forget the infinite, spacious, boundless, pure consciousness level of who we are. Both at the same time. Infinitely spacious, finite humanness, sadness, joy. Grief is a blessing. Grief keeps bringing us back to, we can deepen our relationship from our heart into connecting to all the people who are suffering because of the pandemic, of the people who are suffering because of global climate change, on and on and on. Right now, can we have compassion for ourselves? Very often in Asian practices, compassion is practiced for other people because it's assumed, well, if you're a practitioner, your heart's pretty open. In America, we need to practice for ourselves. I was at a Tibetan retreat once and the Lama said, okay, everybody, let's open our hearts, think about your mother. And then he said, oh, I forgot, this is America. Thinking about your mother doesn't mean your heart is open. It doesn't mean that you become warm-hearted. And in a way that's very funny, and in a way that's profoundly sad. Where he comes from, you love your mother. Okay, so there is the grief of our disconnection, but there is also the joy of our connection. I am so grateful to be connected to you.